The Architects of Humanity. This story presents a fictional conversation between two extraterrestrial beings, 𝘰𝘂𝑗 and 𝘊𝘳𝘂, who are designing the human species. They meticulously discuss various aspects of human nature, from their physical attributes and emotional range to their social interactions and mortality. The story suggests that humans are designed to be diverse, with inherent traits that foster connection and conflict, allowing for a rich and complex experience of life. The story culminates with the two architects setting the stage for a journey of evolution, love, and resilience.
All right, so get this, today's deep dive, it's a bit out there. We're really diving into this Architects of Humanity text you sent over, and, oh, well, let me tell you, it's not like any creation story I've ever heard. Like, what if humans were, actually designed, meticulously crafted by these beings from the fifth dimension? It's a lot, I know. I was pretty blown away, too.
It's wild, right? But, think about it. The idea that we're some kind of, experiment by higher beings, it's not exactly new.
Right.
We see it in all these creation myths, all these different cultures trying to explain where we come from. But this text, it throws in this whole sci-fi angle. It's like instead of gods on a mountaintop, you have
𝘰𝘂𝑗 and 𝘊𝘳𝘂.
Yeah. These energy beings, but from the fifth dimension. And they're not just snapping their fingers, boof, humans. They're debating, strategizing. That makes you think, what were they going for? What was the goal with humans?
Totally. What were these grand plans they had for us? And it's not just a general idea of humans, it's they thought through every little thing.
It's all in the details, right? Take the whole male and female thing. They were very intentional about humans having this kind of dual nature.
Yeah, they talk about that a lot. Male, female, this duality. But it's more than just, for making more humans, right?
Right. They're really into this idea of balance, like these two sides of a coin pushing and pulling. It creates this tension, but a good tension, like that spark.
Okay, I'm with you. So it's more than just, oh, we need a way for them to reproduce. It's this fundamental part of what makes humans, well, human.
Exactly. They call it interplay, this back and forth, the way men and women, challenge each other, complete each other. They thought it was essential.
Essential for what, though? What was so important about this interplay?
Growth. That's their big thing.
Yeah.
Growth on a personal level, but also for society as a whole. They thought this constant interaction between the masculine and feminine, it would push humanity to change, to adapt, to become more.
So basically they engineered us to be in a constant state of becoming, never really static, always striving for something.
Exactly. And it's not always going to be pretty, right? They built that in too.
Oh yeah. What, you mean the whole jealousy thing? They were kind of obsessed with that.
Right. A whole chapter on jealousy. And it's not all bad in their view. They saw it as this powerful motivator.
Wait, really?
Yeah. They thought it would push humanity to compete, to create, to innovate. It's hey, a little jealousy never hurt anyone. Well, okay, maybe it hurts a little, but you get the idea.
So it's they're saying, yeah, humans might get a little crazy with this whole jealousy thing, but hey, that's part of the plan.
In a way, yeah. They weren't afraid of a little messiness. They built that into the design too.
Okay, so they're cool with a little chaos. But what about this whole, lifespan thing? Who designs a creation with an expiration date? It's a bit of a downer, if you ask me.
It seems counterintuitive, right? But 𝘰𝘂𝑗 and 𝘊𝘳𝘂, they had this whole philosophy about it.
All right, lay it on me. Why make us mortal? What's the grand plan there?
Well, they believe that a limited lifespan would create this, urgency, a need to really make the most of our time because we don't have forever.
So you're saying, that's why we feel this pressure to accomplish things, because we're aware that our time is, limited.
Exactly. It's they're saying, hey, if humans really want to leave a mark, they got to get to it. No time to waste.
So they're basically saying, hey, if humans really want to leave a mark, they got to get to it. No time to waste.
Wow. Okay, so they were going for motivation, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But what about, all the different ways we experience the world? Our senses. It's they went all out with the options there.
It's true. It's they were designing a menu or something. Pick your sensory experience, tailor-made just for you. Right. Some people, they're all about that taste. Super tasters, And others, they can barely tell if something's sweet or salty.
Well, they weren't just messing with us. At least not according to the text. They thought all this variation, it would add to the richness of the human experience. It's imagine if everyone experienced color the exact same way. Or music. Kind of takes the fun out of it,
Yeah,
right?
I guess so. It's like, if we all love the exact same things, the world would be a pretty boring place.
Exactly. This variety is what makes us interesting, right? It's why we have so many different kinds of art, music, food, all these ways of expressing ourselves and connecting with the world around us.
Okay, so variety is the spice of life. I get it. But speaking of variety, they really seem to have fun with our physical forms too. And not just like how our bodies work, but like how we look. They could have just made us all look the same, right? But no.
Right. 𝘰𝑗ⁱ and 𝑉𝑅𝑎𝑛, they were all about the aesthetics. Different heights, builds, facial features, hair color. It's like they wanted to create a species that was visually interesting. Like a walking, talking art exhibit.
They even talk about hair like it's this big deal.
Yeah. They saw it as another way for humans to, like, express themselves, you know, to stand out, signal their individuality. Which, you think about it, isn't that what we still do today? We spend so much time on our hair, our clothes, trying to cultivate a certain look.
True. Though, I gotta say, it would be pretty cool to get some fashion advice from a being who can, like, see into the future.
Now that's an idea for a future deep dive. But seriously, I think the takeaway here is that 𝘰𝑗ⁱ and 𝘊𝘆𝑚, they saw the beauty in our differences. They weren't going for uniformity. They wanted humanity to be this tapestry of different colors, shapes, experiences.
A very diverse tapestry, which I guess is what makes humanity so interesting, right? Like, we're not all just copies of each other. We each bring something different to the table.
Exactly. And it's those differences, those unique strengths and weaknesses that actually make us stronger as a whole. At least that's what 𝘰𝑗ⁱ and 𝘊𝘆𝑚 seem to believe.
It makes you wonder, though, like, what did they see as humanity's greatest strength? If you could ask them, what would you say? What were they hoping for with all this?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And honestly,
Yeah.
I think the answer is woven throughout the entire text. They don't come right out and say it, but
Oh, come on, you're gonna leave me hanging. You're killing me with this suspense. What's the big reveal? What did they think was our, like, superpower as humans?
okay. Picture this. You've got these architects, right? And they're putting together this incredibly complex creation, piece by piece. They give us this capacity for love, for connection, for empathy. But then on the flip side, there's ambition, drive, even a little chaos thrown in for good measure.
So we're basically walking paradoxes.
Kind of, yeah. But they saw this inherent complexity, the fact that we can hold these seemingly opposite things at the same time as our secret weapon.
Our secret weapon, that's kind of cool. But what's so great about being a walking contradiction?
Well, they thought it would make us, like, unstoppable. This ability to be both and, to embrace the messiness alongside the beauty, it's what allows us to constantly evolve, to push boundaries. It's like we're never satisfied with the status quo. We always want to see what's over the next horizon, what we can create, how we can grow.
They did seem to be really into the whole growth thing. But, okay, so they wanted us to be ambitious, a little chaotic, I can kind of see it. But where does free will fit into all of this? Like, did they program us to be this way? Or do we actually have a say in the matter?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Yeah, and here's the thing. They don't really give us a straight answer in the text. They're very focused on the design aspect, like the choices they made in creating us. But the whole free will debate, it's almost like they deliberately left that part open-ended.
You think they did that on purpose? Like, left it for us to figure
It
out?
makes you wonder, right? Maybe they figured, hey, we gave them the tools, the blueprint, the potential. Now let's see what they do with it.
That's a pretty wild thought. Okay, so, final question. Big picture time. If 𝘰𝑗ⁱ and 𝘊𝘆𝑚 were real, if they were sitting right here with us, what grade would you give them? Like, how'd they do?
Honestly, it's almost impossible to put a grade on something as complex and, well, messy as humanity. But I will say this, they definitely gave us a lot to work with, a lot of potential, a lot of challenges too. Maybe that was the whole point. To create something dynamic, something that's always changing, always evolving. No easy answers, just a lot of really interesting questions.
And maybe that's what makes it all so fascinating, right? This whole experience of being human. Well, on that note, I think it's time for us to say goodbye to the fifth dimension for now and get back to our regularly scheduled programming here in reality. But hey, if those architects ever want some feedback,